All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jeremiah, and in this video, I'm going to be going over 7 accessories for the Model 3/Y that you need to have day one of taking delivery here in 2023. Now, because day one accessories are, in my opinion, pretty bland and boring, it's just standard stuff, I'm also going to be showcasing 9 month one accessories toward the end of the video. Now, in reality, there's more than 7 day one accessories and more than 9 month one accessories, but I'm grouping them together just to kind of help with the pace of this video. Now, everything I talk about in this video will be linked below. And because, like I always say, I believe in transparency here on the channel, Amazon links will be affiliate links, so I do get a small kickback, and Test Stuff links, well, I own that store. Also gonna have a discount code for Test Stuff at the end of the video to save you some dollars. Last thing to know is that the Model 3 and Model Y share roughly 70% of their parts, so accessories that fit one should fit the other. However, if that's not the case, then I'll have both versions linked below. But yeah, let's get into it. So for the first accessory, a screen protector. The screen has literally all the information you need to drive the car, so it's probably a good idea to protect it. Now, a screen protector is gonna do a few different things actually. First, of course, it's going to protect your screen. My screen protector actually saved my screen a few weeks back. I was moving my iPad to my glove box when the corner of it clipped the side of my screen. The screen protector did its job and took the damage. Secondly, assuming you get a high quality one, it's going to give you a much better touch experience. This is due to the oleophobic coating. It just makes tapping and swiping feel like butter. This is personally why I have one. And lastly, if you opt for the matte screen protector, it's going to help with glare like a lot. Next up, floor mats. Your Tesla will come with floor mats, assuming you didn't get a base Model 3 because those don't come with any floor mats, but they're super flimsy carpet ones, and how do I say this? They're crap. Get some nice all-weather floor mats. I've personally had both the traditional rubber ones and the new XPE ones. I and a lot of other people that I see actually prefer the XPE. They're super lightweight, which for an EV, any weight savings is going to lead to better efficiency and, well, they're just easier to clean. At the bare minimum, get floor mats for the inside of the car and the trunk. So the driver, passenger, and rear passenger along with, well, the trunk. These are high traffic areas that are carpet. But if you're using your Tesla for more rugged activities, then you can also pick up mats for the front trunk, trunk well, and ones that Velcro, otherwise known as hook and loop fasteners, to the back of the seats. These are really nice if you find yourself putting your seats down a lot to haul stuff. Now, for number 3, inserts. Because it's an EV, that means your storage compartments are pretty big and it's easy to get things jumbled up. The center console, for example, is massive, and an insert will help keep your important items organized and within reach. Also, make sure the insert you get for the center console is a sliding one so you can slide it back for easy access to the bottom storage. Now, you can also get an insert for the armrest, same reasoning, big storage space. Also gonna mention 3 more inserts: cup holder, hidden storage, and while I don't think this is a day one must-have, we're already on the insert section, a trunk storage bin. Unless you're getting the triple XL double gulp cup 24/7, the cup holders that are just in the car, they're way too big. So a cup holder insert will help keep your drinks in place. For the hidden storage, well, it's just what it sounds like. Both the Model 3 and Y have a cutout under the armrest that this little insert can be placed into. You can put small valuables here like wallets or keys or just other small things you might want to keep in your car, but you want them out of sight. It's actually pretty handy. And then the trunk storage inserts are actually pretty useful for keeping like smaller, fragile things separate from the rest of your trunk. Next up, number 4, charging adapters. I believe every Tesla still comes with a J1772 adapter at the time of delivery, but if yours did not, then you can pick one up from Tesla for $50. Most of, if not all, destination charging is gonna have a J1772 plug. They aren't crazy fast, but if you're staying at a hotel or something, they will get you from 0 to full overnight. Then there is the CCS adapter. This is for fast charging. These are relatively new, released to the US at least within the past year, and they open you up to essentially all of the Electrify America infrastructure, along with all future CCS fast chargers. As much as Tesla tries to claim that the Tesla connector is the North American standard, it's not. When these first came out, they were a pretty penny, sitting at $250 but they've actually lowered the price since then and they sit at $175. Last thing for adapters that I wanted to mention, the mobile connector. It's not really an adapter, but it's here in the charging area. I really do recommend you keep one of these in your car at all times in case of an emergency. Now for our next accessory, I was debating on including this one or not, but I feel like it is 100% needed day one, your home charging situation. Can't tell you how many people I see that order Teslas and they have no clue what they're doing when they get the car to like charge it at home. I made an entire video on home charging that you can check out, so whether you're planning on doing a 240 volt plug, a wall connector, or a third-party charger, just make sure you have a way to actually charge the car at home. I'm still in the boat that if you don't have home charging or free charging at work, I guess, then there's no point to an EV. Home charging is literally the greatest part about EV ownership. Next up, Tint and PPF. Tint is 100% a must on these cars. For one, they're fish bowls and it looks awful without tint. And two, if you have a ton of sunlight coming in, the car is gonna need to work overtime to keep the cabin cool, thus eating into your efficiency. Get tint, please. If you wanna know what I have and what I personally recommend tint-wise, then you can shoot me a DM over on Twitter. Me telling you what I think that you should get, it doesn't really make sense because I don't know your climate, where you live, or anything like that. I get tons of DMs all the times on people asking me for recommendations on tint, what they're planning on going, and if it sounds good or not. I'll get back to you. Now, for PPF, and well, I'm 8 months into having it on my Model 3, and I don't want to spoil the 1 year was this a waste of money review. So I'll just say what I said last time. If you have money burning a hole in your pocket, or you're the type of person that's going to get out after every single drive and meticulously inspect your front bumper for any sight of a rock chip, then yeah, just go ahead and go for it. Now, if PPF is a little too expensive for you, or you're looking for even more protection, paint protection that is, then this next accessory is for you. Mud flaps. Fun fact, most cars have thinner paint toward the bottom, you know, where all the rocks get kicked up. Tesla is no exception, plus their paint is super soft and just overall pretty bad. If you're not going down the PPF route and you live in a place that the roads can get pretty nasty, then I recommend some heavier duty mud flaps. I've had personal experience with Rally Armor. They're a pain to get on, but man, do they just stop everything. But if you are getting PPF or your roads don't really get that bad, then you can just get some more subtle mud flaps. But no matter what you go for, just please don't get mud flaps that require you to drill holes in your car. There are a ton of really good screwless flaps to be, well, drilling holes in your $40, $50, $60, $70,000 car. Now, with that being said, please know that all screwless mud flaps work because, well, they attach to the panel. This does add a little bit of side protection, which is nice, but over time, dirt can build up inside where it attaches and cause paint damage. Now, this is only a problem with the 3 as the Y has plastic trim. This can be prevented, however, by spending $5 to $10 on a little strip of PPF. It doesn't even need to be like super high quality PPF, and cutting it up to put on the paint where each flap attaches. A lot of people and or stores won't give you this disclaimer, but I, along with test stuff, will. Okay, so those are the day one accessories. Like I said, pretty bland and boring, no thrills, but trust me, you need them. But now let's get into a little bit more fun accessories that you might want to consider shortly after getting your new Tesla. First is an SSD or some sort of storage device for your Sentry/dash cam. Tesla provides a standard 128 gigabyte stick, and well, it kind of sucks. I and a lot of other people experience very laggy playbacks, skipped frames, and it's just overall not that much storage. You're gonna need to be formatting it every like 3 to 6 months. Upgrading to an SSD, however, will solve all of these problems. Now, there is a pretty widespread debate on whether you should get an SSD or an endurance micro SD card. Essentially, some people believe that if you live in an area with extreme temperatures, then the SSD will malfunction or just fail because it's outside of its operating temperatures. And well, unless you're living in the middle of the Arctic or the middle of a desert, then I don't really buy this. I personally recommend the Samsung T7 SSD. This is what I've had for years, and it's been flawless. It's been in over 100-degree weather and under 0-degree weather without a hitch. Plus, it's 1 terabyte, so I've never had to worry about storage. However, if you do want to go down the route of the Endurance SD card, then I'll have a really good one linked below. But whatever you do, just please don't buy the SSD from Tesla themselves. It's $350 for 1 terabyte, and well, if you know anything about storage pricing, that's insane. It's literally more expensive than an M.2 SSD, which blows external SSDs out of the water. But yeah, ranting aside, just don't get the Tesla one. The next accessory is a phone mount, which some people find to be redundant, but it's actually very useful. Yes, you have a massive screen for all your driving needs, but what if you want to use Waze, which is extremely popular, or God forbid you want to use Apple Maps? I mean, I guess it looks nice. Well, then you're going to need a phone mount. There's a ton of mounts that attach to the screen. They can fold out, they can have MagSafe, wireless charging, really whatever you want. But I personally don't like those because it's screen on screen. I had one for a while and I eventually just took it off. Plus it left this awful residue on the back of my screen on my previous Model 3. But you can buy it if you want. After messing around with a bunch of different phone mounts and a bunch of different positions around the car, I personally went with and recommend a phone mount that attaches to the dashboard on the other side of the steering wheel. Screen on the left and screen on the right just feels so much better to me. Speaking of screens, next is a rotating screen mount. This is one of those accessories that I thought was overhyped until I got one. What really pushed me over to try it was when the refreshed X/S got the ability to, well, rotate their horizontal screens. I don't know how to describe it other than I can't go back to a Model 3 or Y that just has a stationary screen that points straight back. I personally use mine rotated toward me and up. You will need the Gen 2 mount for it to rotate left, right, and up and down, as the Gen 1s only go left and right. It can also help with glare coming in from the passenger side of the car, which is really nice. Now, our next accessory I've mentioned before, and well, I'm gonna mention it again because it's really useful. It's kind of a 2-piece safety set. First is jack pads. Because of the battery, Teslas cannot be jacked up like any other vehicle. You need jack pads to prevent battery damage. I recommend just keeping them in your car in case you get a flat or something, and the company that comes to help doesn't have jack pads. Second is a tire inflator. I have the Apex one. Yes, they sponsor a lot of YouTubers. However, I am not one of them, and I bought this with my own money. I've been using it for almost like a year and a half, say. And it's been great. It has great battery life. It's never died on me. It reads your PSI and you can like set the PSI you want it to go to and then just press the on button or go button and it'll pump it up and it'll stop once it reaches that PSI. It has a flashlight on it and it can double as a battery bank for your mobile devices in case you ever get stranded or something, the car completely dies and your phone is dead. It's really great. Now, the next accessory is actually something that I'm working on a whole separate installation, how to hardwire it in video. A radar detector. Assuming that they're legal in your state, I highly recommend one. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but Teslas and really any other EV, it's super easy to speed in and not even know it. They don't make any noise, and the slightest movement of your foot can be the difference between going 5 over versus going 20 over. Sometimes you just need something to beep at you to get you to check what speed you're actually going. I've had really good experience with the unit in line, and that's what I recommend. Like I said, I'm working on an entire how to hardwire it in so you don't see any wires, and when you get in the car, it automatically turns on, and when you get out, it automatically turns off. It looks really good, so make sure you check back on the channel in a week or so for that video. Now, next up, it's not accessories, but it's stuff to get, cleaning supplies. I have an entire video on how to properly clean your Tesla. I've already mentioned in this video that Tesla paint is really bad, and if you're taking your Tesla to a touch car wash, or that's what you're planning on doing, well, I personally would not do that. I'll have that video linked below along with all of the products that I recommend. And for our last accessory or accessories, interior modifications. I personally swapped out my dashboard to a carbon fiber one as I have a performance, and for some reason only the Performance S/X, otherwise known as the Plaids, come with carbon fiber trim. And no, I don't recommend covers. They eventually just make a bunch of noise and fall off. If you're going to swap your dashboard, make sure you get a full OEM replacement. I got mine from Fusion Motorsports. They have white carbon fiber, otherwise known as Spectre, normal gloss carbon fiber, and a super clean matte carbon fiber, and they have it for the dash and the door trims, door side panels, the little things on the new ones. Now, a disclaimer, I am affiliated with Fusion Motorsports. You can use code MyTesla for $50 off. I'll have it linked below. And then you can also send them your old dashboard and side trim pieces to get an even bigger like rebate. Then the other modification is something I said I'd never do, but after being in a Tesla that has it, well, my opinion has changed. That being ambient lighting. I still think unicorn RGB vomit looks awful, but a subtle color or a warm white light makes all the difference at night. These cars are just so dark driving at night, especially if you went darker on the tint to help with efficiency. Yes, you can turn on the ambient footwell lights, assuming you don't have a base Model 3 for some light, but it's not really that good. I'm currently in the process of installing ambient lighting in my Tesla, so I'll have the kit that I picked up down below. But those are the accessories for your Tesla Model 3/Y that I recommend having day one, and some other accessories that you can get after you've kind of got settled into your Tesla that will, like I mentioned earlier, hopefully improve your ownership/driving experience. Now, if there's any accessories/modifications that you have and recommend, drop it in a comment down below and I'll make sure I check them out. For the people that made it to the end of the video, well, I do have that test stuff discount code for you. Use code YouTube, all caps, for 10% off your entire order. If you're new around here and you want to see more Tesla related content like this video, then feel free to subscribe. I'd appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to drop a like as it really helps out the channel. And I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.